All right, hello everyone. We are live with the monthly community live stream for Mothership. I'm here with Arseni.
And I'm here with Dylan. Hi everyone.
So you probably know all who Arseni is. I have just joined the team as a Chief Growth Officer at Mothership, and yeah, really excited to join and do this for the first time for you guys. So yeah, great.
Same here, really excited to do it with Dylan, and we have a lot of interesting questions to cover, so I think let's get going.
Yeah. First of all, thank you all for your questions. I've gotten a lot of good questions, also a lot of fun questions that we'll get to at the end. And yeah, thank you so much for sending those in. If your question doesn't get answered during this live stream, it just means that we didn't have time for it. But we'll be putting out more content over the next months that will definitely answer your questions. So we want to keep doing this community live stream. We want to send you weekly updates, as I've started doing, because we really want to involve you and be transparent with you what's happening. And yeah, so basically that's why we're doing this. So let's get started with the questions. Yeah.
First question, are we building an app or a desktop client?
Yes, so at the moment we are planning to launch with a mobile app. In the beginning, this app will allow you to do two-factor authentication and see your balances on the exchange. And over time, we'll be developing this app to build out that experience. But yeah, we're definitely planning to have a mobile app, and we're really dedicated to have a good experience on it. So yeah, this is something that we plan to have and plan to launch with as well.
Yeah, we just figured that we can build the app iteratively, and as you know, we are starting with a trading contest with fake money. So, but we still want to start building great security for the platform from the ground up. And we don't think that Google Authentication and the 2FA solutions that exist right now, they have good user experience. And since from the beginning we were planning to have our own 2FA built into the app, we decided that we can start building the app from there and then move on integrating other features, but have the app on the App Store already as soon as we can make it happen.
Yeah. So this is one of the questions that I think you guys have all been waiting for to get answered. Arseni, so do we have any updates on the token burn issue? And will we be conducting it?
So yeah, interesting question. As we have promised in our white paper, we committed to use 20% of the fees that we earn from clients and different deals to make a buyback on the market. And as you know, since last summer, the regulatory landscape was changing, so we very carefully approached the issue, and we had to understand how do we execute this buyback properly. So we've been gathering legal opinions on the matter, and now we are happy to announce that we will be executing a buyback from using the fees that we earned due to Consensus AI crowd sale. And we will publish the details of how the buyback will be executed later on, I think next week, and explain how it goes. And yeah, however, I'd like to mention that for the exchange itself, we are now working on a different system, which will be more aligned with how we structure the fees on the exchange, which will be more convenient to use. But basically be quite similar to what we were planning before.
Yeah. Just out of nervousness, I guess we have forgotten the lights. I'll turn it on, then you can see us a bit better.
Yeah, it's
but yeah, I hope that was the answer you guys all were hoping for. Of course, with these issues, it takes us a little bit more time to get our legal opinions and make sure that we do what is best for the long interest of everyone involved, for us as well as you as an investor, because of course you'd like to see us stick around for a long time. So yeah, we always like to communicate about this, but have to do it when the time is right, and now the time was right.
Yes.
So building Mothership, and I'm gonna be asking you this particular question because like I've just joined for a month, right? What do you feel has been the biggest mistake thus far building Mothership, and what did you learn from it?
Yeah, we did do a few mistakes along the way, and this is just inevitable. If any of you guys are watching Silicon Valley, this is pretty much the same in all startups. Wherever I've been working for startups as an employee or doing something on my own, stuff burns all the time. And but speaking of the biggest mistake, and I think this applies to quite a bit of other companies who did an ICO and started as an ICO funded companies, is committing to the initial timelines. Because whenever you're running an ICO, you're about to run an ICO, you need to present a proper plan. But then things change, and you understand that you are not on time here and there. But we made the mistake of really trying hard to make up for the previous mistakes, and like make up for like couple months of mistakes here and there. We're like, okay, we will do more in the next month, and we will fix all the mistakes from the previous months, which is just it sounds silly, right, when I say it like that. But yeah, we were committing to the initial timelines and really putting unnecessary stress on ourselves and on the development team. And since as soon as we realized this mistake and told ourselves and everybody to chill and work at their own pace, and we started working on creating a better working environment, things started moving so much faster, and people in the company now are so happy about everything around. And I think this is this external self-imposed timeline should have been adjusted early, and issues we just we didn't want to disappoint you guys, and we tried to make our best. But yeah, I think this was the biggest mistake, and quite an expensive one in terms of mental state.
Yeah, I mean, we all want the exchange to be as live as fast as possible, and like products, like want to put out products, but at the same time we have to make sure that they're quality products, and that you all enjoy using it. So it's sometimes building something, you don't foresee a lot of things in the beginning, and then over time you see a lot of things that also need to be part of it. So keeping timelines is always a challenge, but we'll put out dates whenever we feel confident that we'll be able to reach it.
Yes, exactly that. So the timelines that we have right now, and we might be not super clear at this point answering the questions on timelines for this or that, but this is because we have very wide estimates ourselves, and we understand all the risks involved, and we just don't want to blurt out a random date and then try to get the thing out on this date. But instead we have built a very good development process, and we understand the estimates and the pace of our development much better now. So the timelines and estimates, they now go not from top down, but they go from our developers telling us how long exactly this or that thing will take. And it's just much better. And if you know how it usually goes in software development, the closer to the release you are, the better you understand how much is left. So the further we move forward, the more precise estimates we'll be able to tell you.
Yeah.
Speaking about live exchanges, the next question is, what exchanges has MSP applied for, and how long ago for each exchange?
Right, so at this moment we're not actually actively applying to get listed on any exchanges, as we will be listing MSP on our own exchange, of course. However, like occasionally we get approached by interesting exchanges that we would like to partner with, or an opportunity that we would like to jump on. And so yeah, when we get approached by interesting exchanges to get listed on, it's always something we consider. For example, recently we got listed on the Lika exchange. I believe like they have a very interesting project, and it also allows you to trade Bitcoin, MSP pairs, and Ethereum MSP pairs. But yeah, like our goal is to get our own exchange live, and promote our own exchange and get MSP listed on that. So we are not actively doing business development in getting listed on other exchanges at this point. Yeah.
Yep, but we are always open to offers, right? When they make sense.
Yeah, when they make sense. Some exchanges are asking a lot of money. So another question that has been coming up fairly frequently is, when are we going to get a financial exchange license and a wallet license, and when are we submitting this application? So do you have any answers on that?
Yeah, this question also came up during the previous live stream, or during conversations in the Telegram group. So let me tell you the whole story how it is. We had all the documentation prepared, and we were about to submit the thing, but then we pretty suddenly found an amazing person to join our team, our new head of legal, Janusz Prost. And he, yes, and he's been going on all things legal at Mothership, and his initial response was that the external team with whom we work to draft all the KYC. So basically, what a license is the outline of your AML and KYC procedures. And you basically, whatever you write there, whatever rules you set there, you have to adhere to these rules later on when you operate the exchange. So it's like a self-imposed kind of regulation. And Janusz went over it and said, we need to redraft it. This is not good. This is way too complex. We will have problems down the road. So, and Janusz is joining the team full time. We've been working with him for the past month in remote kind of part-time kind of pace, and he is now taking a little break between jobs, and he starts at Mothership on the 2nd of May. And proceeding with working on this application is one of the first things he'll be dealing with. And he's pretty positive that it will take him like no time to adjust it, to simplify the document, simplify the procedures, and still get the license, right? So it's only a good thing. And then I don't remember if I mentioned it already. This license is only for cryptocurrency exchanges dealing with fiat. So having this license does not block us at all in launching altcoin trading on the exchange.
Yeah. And also, in my opinion, I'm really happy to have Janusz on the team, simply because he works for Mothership and he doesn't work for a legal firm that is advising us as a client. And for him, his best interest is Mothership, and I think that's really important in these particular procedures, because he can look at it with a different mindset, whereas he's like, oh yeah, this makes sense technically from a law perspective, but you won't be able to operate it like efficiently. And so I'm really happy that he spotted that.
And it's a very different feeling working with a lawyer who works for our company, not for an external team, because in the end, wherever you ask for legal opinions and legal help, people working for external legal company, they always try to cover their own assets. So in the end, you're just the client, yet another client. In this case, first of all, Janusz is definitely the most knowledgeable legal and finance person I have met in Estonia so far, and I'm so happy to have him on the team. So if he thinks it's complex, it's complex. We trust Janusz.
In fact, I'm happy to do some content around it in the future with Janusz.
Sure.
So, next question
is for you. What do you foresee will be the biggest challenge after launching the exchange, and what steps are you taking to proactively work on this?
So we have listed two challenges here, and I would say there are three. For us, I think at the core of Mothership, what is the most important thing to us is providing an amazing customer experience. And I think we all know, as people in the cryptocurrency scene have been trading, we all know that the support hasn't always been great on exchanges, and we really want to like make a difference in that aspect of the exchange. And so we have fortunately hired an amazing head of customer support who has already been working with us for 2 months, I believe, 2-3 months, and has been proactively working on support processes, has been hiring people, sourcing candidates. We already have hired 3 customer support people, and we're not even live yet. And so we are already thinking about how are we going to deal with a crisis? How are we going to deal with a situation where we, in the worst case scenario, would have to halt trading? How are we going to deal with delivering a good response to you in a short time frame? And so this is one of our biggest challenges, but also the one that we are most proactively working on. And I think it's going to be a challenge to be ahead of the growth all the time. But yeah, I'm definitely very confident with Alex that we have the right person to pull that off. Another one is a lot of people have been asking, so what is the big difference between Binance and like Bittrex and other exchanges? And I think that poses the second challenge, is positioning ourselves in the market and ensuring long-term growth. And I joined Mothership a month ago, and I've seen some mentions on the Telegram that we're not doing enough on the social media channels, on Twitter, on Facebook. And this is mostly because at this stage, I am very much concerned with our branding, our positioning, and how are we going to position us like against a Binance or against a Bittrex and attract people to our exchange. So yeah, this is definitely another challenge, and which I will go into later as well. But a third challenge, I'd say, is more from an operational perspective: KYC, AML regulations, and all the technical aspects that also come with that. GDPR, which is a data privacy law in Europe, which came into effect, or which is coming into effect 25th of May, which is something that we have to be proactively aware of and proactively take care of as well. But with our head of legal, and I'm pretty sure that these kind of issues are also resolved proactively and thought about proactively. And this is why it's difficult to launch an exchange and give you guys specific timelines, because we need to make sure that when we go live, we provide a great customer experience, because that's how we want to put ourselves apart from any other exchanges out there.
I can chip in with some numbers on the support hiring process. Alex and Mari interviewed over 200 candidates to fill in 3 positions for customer support, and I had the chance to speak with the people who made it to the top, with all the 3 people they selected out of 200 people. And it was just amazing. I'm so happy they have found these people, and their attitude towards customer support, how they feel about putting themselves into your shoes, into customer shoes. Yeah. And it's just amazing. It was brilliant talking to those 3 people. Yeah. And yeah, they're starting. Alex is now designing the whole training process and onboarding process, and they're starting mid-May, and will be the first people to go through that process and get ready to provide great customer service.
Yeah, it's something that I'm actually super proud of, because I've seen some other exchanges launch, and then with like people internally are doing the support, and then they're not able to hire quickly enough. And right now we're getting all the hiring processes in place, and the training and onboarding process are already in place before we even live, and this will really help us once we go live. Main thing is, we don't want to treat you as a ticket. We really believe that at the core of Mothership, and this is like our new slogan, I would say our tagline is "You trade and we support." And that doesn't mean that we are just providing amazing customer support, but that means that everything at the core, what we do, is meant to support you as a customer. So
we have your back, basically.
yeah, when I'm thinking about marketing and when I'm thinking about growth, I'm not thinking about how can I like advertise like Mothership the best way possible. I'm thinking about like, you know, what content can I put out to help you understand what we're doing? How can I create an amazing community? How can I be transparent to you? And how can I make you guys feel, you know, special and not just part of of some random exchange as a number as a random customer. This is something that's really important to us. Yeah.
Yes.
So there have been some technical questions as well, and yeah, I'd love to go into those. What language is the exchange backend written in, and why did you guys make this decision? I think there's a pretty interesting story around this.
Yes, so at the moment there is a very clear answer. It's Node.js. Everywhere Node.js, front-end JavaScript. Of course, you can't have anything else there. And we went with Node.js for backend. And the story behind it is initially we started with Golang. And thing is that we understood that Node.js brings in some of you know, some problems with it, and we understood that building a bit slower but using Golang is in the long term is going to be better for the whole platform. But thing is, it is unbelievable how much more quickly things are moving if you're using JavaScript. And we were thinking, and we had to test this. We had to test this theory. You know, we were thinking that hiring Golang developers would be an easier task because generally people come to Golang after they had some programming experience here and there, and they come as more experienced people with this programming language. Even though, of course, there is so much less Golang developers than JavaScript developers. But you know, this theory didn't hold up, and hiring Golang developers was hard. And with JavaScript is just business-wise, this is the best solution out there. And we just found ways how to negate all the possible problems with Node.js, to log the versions of the package, to have more and more 100% test coverage, to just, you know, constantly keep in mind that there might you know, there might be a few issues here and there, but generally this is the solution which makes the most sense business-wise. So if you're going to build a startup, build it in Node and JavaScript.
Like I think as well that it's like every language comes with its challenges, right? And so what works best for the team, I think, seems the right choice to me. I'm not a technical person.
It's also, you know, every language also comes with the culture, and we like the culture of JavaScript community more than the culture of other programming languages. That's just the thing. Of course, there is stupid stuff in every community. Yeah. But yeah, the pace and the product thinking. Product-oriented thinking that comes with JavaScript developers, and people being able to switch from front end to back end, even though, you know, if they mostly do front end, they still can make some changes to this or that API. It's priceless. It reduces the friction, it reduces the amount of collaboration, and increases the amount of work being done. Yeah. So that's pretty cool.
So a more technical question again. Will the exchange support SegWit and batching when we go live?
So yeah, I received this question. I was like, I need to ask the technical team, and I asked Anton and Fabienne. Fabienne is our new blockchain developer who joined us almost a month ago, right? It's been almost a month, maybe a little less. Yeah. And yes, of course, they said yes, of course. And as a general policy, we don't see it's viable to, you know, not use the latest available technologies, not to use the latest advancements on the blockchain. And SegWit, I see myself how well SegWit works. As soon as Segwit kicked in, it's so nice and good to use Bitcoin network. Payments go quickly. They're being mined quickly. The fees are lower, and here I am inspired with what Bitstamp does. Because Bitstamp is one of the maybe only one, maybe just one of the few exchanges who pay fees for withdrawals. And I'm actually considering that Mothership should do the same, because this forces Bitstamp. This creates a financial incentive for Bitstamp to implement Segwit and stuff like that as soon as it hits the blockchain. It just makes them earn more money.
Yeah.
So I want to create similar incentives at Mothership, and of course we will support Segwit.
Yeah, again, this comes back to our philosophy. Like we want to do what's right for you, not necessarily for us, even if it costs us a little bit more money. So like, has any stress testing been done yet on the exchange, and are we designing the exchange to be scalable, and what kind of volume would we be able to handle?
Of course, we are designing the exchange to be scalable, and in fact, this iteration of the trading engine, which we have now, is the third iteration. And initially, we had the initial prototype. We ran the test. We did different benchmarks. Anton with the engineering team designed different possible solutions to adjust different things in the infrastructure, adjust things in the technology stack that we use. And they made those adjustments. They went through the whole process again, the process of testing, benchmarking, and understanding the new bottlenecks which popped up, and they addressed those bottlenecks, and now are in the process of finishing the third iteration and doing the tests and benchmarks. So I think it's a little bit too early now to talk about any numbers, but thing is, what we're aiming to achieve is great customer experience. And great customer experience means that you should not ever see those red pop-ups. Your order cannot be submitted. For example, in terms of machine engine performance, instead of rejecting requests, we are working on a system which will, continue queuing orders and maybe slow down the performance of other parts of the engine to allow everyone to still push their order through even in the high peak times. So no numbers here yet, but there is great work being done in this area.
Yeah, I must say that I'm also really impressed with just the thinking of the engineering team that goes into these things. Like I don't think I've seen that in the previous companies I worked at least. So yeah, this is definitely my section.
Yes, this is Dylan's section. The section is titled Marketing Questions. So the first marketing question is, what marketing strategies are you planning for Mothership?
Yeah, so good question. Well, first of all, I want to let you guys know that the way I think as a marketer is that marketing comes second after product and customer experience. And this is why I came up with the tagline, you trade, we support. And that's because we want this thought to be at the philosophy of our company, like at the core of our company, sorry. And this means that our marketing strategy also evolves around this thinking. Unfortunately, as some of you may know, it's not possible right now to do any advertising on Facebook, on Google, on Twitter, and all the related channels to that. And the thing is that most marketers and most marketing strategies evolve around paid advertising. And of course, there's a lot of things that you can do which is not paid advertising. But this is definitely the major channel for most companies, most SaaS startups. And you can make two choices here. You can either go and find other advertising channels and see what ways can we reach more audience, what way can we attract people to our exchange through paid advertising on banners on websites, etc. And there are crypto specific advertising networks that do that, but they generally cost a lot of money. And so you have that choice, or you have the choice to spend this money on customer experience and making the customer happy, and basically forfeit the advertising budget and specify this budget for customer experience and providing better customer support. And that's the decision that we have chosen. But this doesn't mean that we won't do any advertising or that we won't do any marketing. It's just it mostly evolves around involving you as a customer, around PR, around customer experience, making you guys talk about us and rewarding you for that as well, through referral programs, for example. And building an amazing community that stands for something. And this is something that we're very deeply thinking about right now. We all have our own beliefs in what is important to us, but we wanna definitely communicate this more strongly and have you be part of that. And besides that, we have various campaigns planned. So we have various PR campaigns planned involving various entities that you already know of, such as eResidency. We're setting up a trading tournament, and we're working with traders to make sure that this is going to be a fun tournament and it's going to being a challenging one. We'll be setting up a waiting list with a referral program. I have recently asked in the community, and I have the Telegram chat open here so that I can see what you guys are asking now as well, by the way. But I've recently asked you guys, what do you want to know about Mothership? Like, what is the content you would like to learn more about? Like, what interests you and what attracted you to the exchange? And yeah, I've come up with an idea around this, and we'll start a podcast around the future of money, and we'll do this as a seasonal podcast. And the first season will go into why are we building Mothership, and like what is eResidency, and why did we find it important to be based in Estonia while none of us is from Estonia, and what are we doing with eResidency, how are we preparing for customer support, and like rope in Alex on that conversation and really give you those insights and involve you in that. And yeah, of course, we're constantly thinking about other ways to promote and market, and of course the usual stuff will be definitely done, such as being on Reddit and being present on social media, etc. And to me that is not really strategy. That's more a thing that you have to do anyway. Yeah. A strategy is more the bigger thinking behind everything you do, and how you put out the company. One big thing, in my opinion, is that we're also researching the best approach to how we will be listing coins and which coins we'll be listing on the exchange. I think this will be a major influence on the growth of the exchange as well.
Yes. This is a I've heard this question multiple times already. What's the strategy for listing coins and such? We are in the process of building this plan. We have a lot of different ideas. The most important thing is we are definitely not happy with the way listings are happening right now in the cryptocurrency space. So we want to ensure that we have multiple different ways to get a coin listed. We have a public and understandable, clear list of requirements. What the coin should have to get listed, and this is really important. For example, I am sure that this was one of the keys to success of Binance in 2018. Yeah. They had an amazing coin listing strategy. Yeah. So there is nothing we can say right now, but this is definitely a very, very important part of running a crypto exchange.
I think marketing strategies in running and growing an exchange are a little bit of a different beast than growing and marketing a SaaS company, and this is a bit of a challenge for me, but I think it evolves all around mindset. And honestly, like the coin listing thing is a major thing that promotes growth and creates network effects, because it attracts the communities of those particular coins as well to the exchange, and this is something that we're constantly thinking about. And I really want to build a process which makes sense, which is transparent, and which helps us grow as an exchange as well. So
Definitely.
yeah.
Definitely.
That said, though, if there are any suggestions or any things, like I'm always open to feedback. I know there are some people that have been I've had conversations with on Telegram, and I really like those conversations. Maybe not always reply in depth, but I'm definitely listening to everything. And yeah, like I think in terms of setting ourselves apart from other exchanges and how are we gonna be different from a Binance, is a community effort. We're all in this together, right? Like it's our project, but you as investors also want to see this successful. So definitely love to involve you in that and brainstorm and bounce off ideas. So.
Yes. I see the last bullet here, and would like to chip in myself.
Right.
That a part of marketing strategy is creating an amazing customer experience. And I'm a very, I appreciate a lot good customer experience. And customer experience is a multitude of different things. First and foremost, this is the UX, the product itself, which makes sense, which helps the customer to do whatever they are here for. And this is the customer support. This is the knowledge base. This is all encompassing, like how the company operates, which kind of service it provides, how it helps and stays behind the customer, and helps the clients do whatever they want to do. For example, yesterday I had to renew a domain on domain.com. It was such a horrible experience. I spent like half an hour doing that.
He was pretty frustrated.
Very frustrated. And then I got to they blocked my account twice for me trying to renew my domain. And then I had to chat to customer support specialists, and it didn't make sense. There was this fake way of being polite and trying to, we are so sorry for the issue that you were experiencing. No, I'm still experiencing the issue. And this is the great thing that I saw in the 3 people who are joining us as our customer support agents. They understand what I'm talking about, and they themselves have these beliefs. I asked them, guys, do you think, is it alright to send a Pepe meme to a customer? Like, well, it makes sense if the customer is obviously deep into trading, and he's using different slang, and I'm not
waiting for the responses.
And I'm not sending them suicidal Pepe, but some more like socially acceptable memes. It's fine. I'm like, great, yes, exactly, it's fine. It's fine.
Yeah. It's providing great customer experience is not. I mean, one thing I realized saying this on the live stream is that it's probably what all other exchanges say, but if you look, I've studied other exchanges and their entire marketing strategy and how they put out their brand, and what you see is that there's 2 exchanges that have the same tagline. We are world's most safest and trustable exchange. And these are 2 exchanges with the exact same tagline, and in my opinion, this is a self-acclaimed truth, right? Which is, in the end, it's a lie.
Yes.
And that's why we came up with the tagline, "You trade, we support." That's how we want to grow the company. That's how we want to, stand behind you. That's how we want to think about marketing. That's how we want to think about the product. That's how we want to, with the trait that we want to see in our employees. And like our colleagues, like that's what's important. And even though I know it sounds cheesy, this is in my opinion the biggest part of our thinking and strategy. And of course, like when it comes to marketing, like I'm a marketer. I've been building customer journeys over the past years and doing growth marketing and growth hacking and building the SaaS models where you have like your advertising and your ROI and your conversion rates, and And all of this is important. Like, don't forget, like, don't mistake me. Like, this is really important, but it's not what should be at the core. It's not. And yeah, that's a very long-winded answer to a simple question, but I think, like, to me this is very important, and I think maybe
same here.
Like, I've maybe have taken a little bit of an alternative approach to most marketers in the beginning, like joining the company and thinking more about these kind of things. And even though I'm not really, like, my job is not specifically marketing, find this important overall growth.
Yeah, this is more of a culture and mindset, and just think about the last time you got an amazing customer service where you were just amazed what the company did for you, and remember how committed to the company it makes you feel. You don't really want to use any of the competitors anymore. You're like, wow, this was really good. I'm not going to anyone anymore.
It's like there's only so much paid advertising we can do. We need all your help. So let us create the right product to make you feel you want to help, right? So yeah, there's a bunch of community questions that you have been asking on the Telegram, which are a little bit more funny, I'd say.
Yeah, I think we can answer. We can give an answer, both of us, to each of them, right?
Yeah. I guess we could. And like, I see your messages, by the way. I'll get to that in a moment as well. I have the Telegram open in front of me. So, but yeah, like, who's your all-time favorite Telegram member, and why?
I would say Adam, because Adam always comes with constructive critique. He's a really, like, critic of Mothership, but we like it. We like it because the issues that he brings up and the questions that he asks are very constructive, and even if those questions are might be uncomfortable here and there, this is good. We need to be able to answer uncomfortable questions. So maybe this is even a, a signal. Oh, if this question is uncomfortable for you, maybe you're doing something wrong. So constructive critique is always great to see and answer, and helps understand whether we're making a mistake here or there.
Yeah.
Thank you, Adam.
I'm laughing because of your responses. But yeah, basically for me, I just joined, so I don't really have an all-time favorite. I really enjoy talking with people that can be a sounding board, that help think with us, that understand that, building an exchange and building a product, and it's not just like, you don't just flick a switch and like it's live, or like you solve a problem. And I really enjoy talking with you guys, and yeah, really, I'm really open to feedback and listening what we do right, what we do wrong, and learn from it. And
you are dodging the question. You need to name a nickname. You are dodging. Of course, I love reading the stuff you write, guys. I like to, and I really like to participate in discussions. I don't do it because there are things I need to focus on. But yeah, don't dodge the question. Name the nickname.
Okay. In that case, very honest, Matt. Yeah, Matt. Yeah, he's so far been my best person that I've had very interesting conversations with, and Pakcoin as well. He's been very helpful, and I mean, there's like, I can't really call one name, but it's definitely a bunch of people. But if I have to answer one, then that's the one. So, is there going to be a next gift competition?
Sir. Maybe not. Thing is, gift competition was fun, and we all really enjoyed it, and I think gift competition was what started the mood that we are having now in the Telegram room, and brought the community closer together. And we might do something like that in future, of course. But at the same time, we've been receiving feedback, and some people perceive it as being non-serious, non-professional, and we'll have to find our way around this. And right now there are no gift competitions in plans. We need to launch that trading platform.
But you guys keep surprising us anyway. So, have you been missing in action? So this question was asked, why has Arseny been missing in action? And my initial response was, have you?
Yeah, I have been missing in action for a week when I took vacation from 3rd to 10th of April. And it was a really good thing, guys. If someone of you haven't had a vacation for a long time, like I haven't had one for 2 years, you really need to take one. Clear your head and, like, all the new ideas and energy that you get. It's really important to recharge your batteries once in a while. But I think the question is about me missing in the Telegram room. So yeah, thing is, my action is in other places right now. My action is in other places, and but yeah, I definitely should drop by more often or something. I remember I did a few times Q&A sessions on Telegram, just chatting, texting.
This is a Q&A too.
Yeah.
It's I mean, like, in the end, like, community is important, and we're reading most, if not everything, actually, that you guys are saying, even though it's mad you bitch why MSP so low. But like, yeah, we're reading everything, and we're listening, but in the end, like, our priority and our focus is on putting out the product, and that's what you guys are all waiting for. So not missing in action, not away, not dead. Just focusing on what's most important. Yeah, your favorite sticker or meme in the room. What's yours? Like, I wrote my answer there. What's yours?
Yeah. That's a tough pick. I really like the whole sticker pack. And
good job on that, Jack.
Good job. And yeah, whatever sticker or GIF looks, professionally made, it always amazes me. Like, wow, this is the skill here. Wow, this is so nice. Yeah, I can't really pick the favorite one. I need to, look up at them stickers.
So right now for me, the favorite one, I think, is the soon. Especially the one where
flashing one where I replied soon.
Yeah. That's my favorite one right now. Would you date a no coiner? Sorry, I almost said that wrong. Would you date a no coiner?
What's this? Yes. First you date a no coiner, and then you make them. You convert them. You talk to them. You tell them about Bitcoin and financial revolution. I like to tell them that, hey, imagine you open your bank account app and there is zero there. What are you gonna do? And she's like, I'm gonna call the bank. But the bank tells you, no, it's all right, you have zero in your bank account. What are you gonna do? Anyone going to believe you? This is what Bitcoin is about, taking control of our finances in our hands. And people start thinking, like, oh, tell me more, okay, now I'm interested. So yes, of course, you should date and friends and hang out with no coiners and explain them. Not fanatically, and not like a crazy lunatic, but explain them. Find your own way of what are you so enthusiastic about this whole blockchain Bitcoin thing, and how personally it affects you and changed your attitude towards personal finance, towards how people should do finance, and just tell the story and make people interested, and that's how we grow adoption.
Well, I do as well date a no coiner, and actually I haven't been able to convert her yet, but sorry. But yeah, no, I think in general, like, it's been it's a good thing to hang out with a lot of people that are not into cryptocurrencies as well.
Of course.
Just to get different perspectives, but also to understand how they look at it, and how they could eventually be converted, and understand what they're coming from. It's at least important for me. So
yeah, you should not enclose yourself in a bubble, where it clouds your judgment, and you think, oh, everybody knows about this or that news, but in fact, 99% of the world's population don't care at all.
Yeah. I'm very strong. 5 years going and strong, so all good. So this one I really wanted to include. So Jack Black promised to send me genuine MSP stickers by airmail, and I've never received them. How will the Mothership team be tackling this evil within the MSP community? My answer is, yeah, Jack Black, I'm gonna put you together in one room with autistic dog. That's your punishment.
This is I don't have my own answer. This is the best one. This is ideal.
Yeah.
Yep. This is your fate, Jack Black.
This is your fate. Yeah, and then like, are we answering the long like
yeah, sure,
often asked
sure,
question that is
sure.
currently on the Telegram?
I think let's let's go through them. Let's go through them. We have a bit more time.
It's this question.
Nope. Nope. So yeah, we'll keep this private for now. How do you like this answer?
Jack, I like your response. Yeah, there's one question that gets asked a lot, but I think all we can say there is let it be a surprise.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Let it be a surprise.
Let it be a surprise. So yeah, that was pretty much it.
Did we get any questions on YouTube?
I'm not sure. Did we get any questions on YouTube?
Okay, guys, we're looking at our telegrams right now at the Telegram group, and we have a few more minutes to answer more questions. So please stop the flaming and just ask questions if you have any.
One question: when is the MSP cap available for
of
purchase?
course, new MSP apparel. This is always a bomb, right?
Yeah.
We should open an apparel shop, I guess, right? With Shopify.
Maybe we should.
Yeah. Thing is, we are. I think Dylan mentioned it already. We are at the moment doing a rebranding for the whole thing. So we kind of put on pause printing any apparel and any swag, and we'll continue as we make it look much more fun and interesting and promoting Mothership.
It's going to be great. Yeah. Looking forward to get new apparel. We can always think about selling those when it makes sense, because right now it would be a lot of time and work.
Then it will distract us from the launch, and then just imagine, like, this is generally we have created the company to build a trading engine and the new generation of financial services. We shouldn't be selling t-shirts, like, I mean, it's just stupid. We can do it by launch, for example, after the launch, with we are also happy about the launch. Let's have some swag, but before that, of course no. What's your favorite type of cheese? Question from Peppernout. Man, I love you too, Peppernout. Don't be so disappointed that I didn't name you as my favorite member.
We had to name one. Name one.
Yes.
I'm sorry. I'm Dutch. I don't eat cheese.
What?
Well, grilled cheese, melted cheese, fine, but generally no.
I like blue cheese. I like burgers with blue cheese. I like pizzas with blue cheese. I generally like blue cheese.
There's your answer.
When might we be able to expect a launch date announcement roughly? We've been going on about this just on this live stream. We are not ready to call the date yet, and Q2, Q3. It's like we don't want to commit to anything really. And
one thing that we can mention is that at this stage we are coming very closely, very closely to having our own employees use the platform, anyone in the company, and invite people to come and use the platform as well. And get feedback from them and hunt down bugs and see where there's room for improvement. But yeah, we're very close to that. And we are talking weeks here.
Yes.
But in terms of like actually getting the live product, it's a bit of a different beast. we have a very good understanding at this stage what still needs to happen and what is done. It's just we want to make sure that when we put out the date or when we put out an estimate that we can commit to this.
Yes.
Because the trading tournament will be linked to the live exchange launch as well. So the trading tournament won't start before we are sure that we can actually.
Yeah, and then there are huge preparations. Yeah, because there are a lot of different preparations that we need to make in so many different areas before we can. It's not only about development of the product, right?
In fact, at this stage, it's the least I'd say about like pure development. That's the challenge.
Just so many factors in organizing the launch and making sure we are able to provide the customer support, the level of customer support that we deem reasonable and proper.
And things like security and how are we going to handle like withdrawals from the exchange and make sure that you got your funds are safe and all of this is.
We've been going on answering this question for 2 minutes. There is a great answer here on Telegram room, but Panagot. Soon.
It's soon.
Komako missed most of this. You can of course rewind and watch from the beginning.
What's the best way to so the whole entire live stream will be live, will stay on YouTube once we go offline, so you can rewatch it. What's the best way to explain MSP to a no coiner? An amazing exchange and a token that is linked to it to use the exchange and pay services on the exchange. I'm not going to give very specifics there, but
I would say what we're building here is a new way to do your personal finance, the reimagined way to blend cryptocurrencies and fiat together and services services for business clients as well. Whenever you have to deal with finance, we figured the right way how you should be dealing with finance in this age and era, how to not have any bullshit in your life when you're dealing with finance. This is what
I think there's it just pops up in my head, so it's a very well thought, but a great summary to this I'd say is financial services are a way to provide services to a person. You, like a bank or a financial service provider, shouldn't dictate whether you are allowed to participate in the economic system. Right now, how finance work is if you don't have a bank account, which they have you all the right to deny and not give a reason to as well, they don't have to even tell you why they are denying you a bank account. You're not participating in the financial system. In our opinion, financial services should be just that, a service, but it shouldn't dictate whether you are allowed to.
It should be neutral, and not even neutral. It should be on your side instead of just denying and rejecting the whole KYC application. The company should take action to help resolve the problem.
Yeah. And we believe that the funds should, as much as possible in our case, be in your control.
Yes. Always.
Yeah, that's what it is. That was it. We hopefully answered all your questions, and we would like to do this more often. I'm not sure if we're gonna.
Look at this.
Yeah, like gravity, Mothership gravity. It's amazing.
It's amazing. Just stay out of trouble.
Stay out of trouble. Make sure that we don't get letters from lawyers saying that we are painting their walls. But I think in general, we really like doing this and like to answer your questions as much as we possibly can. We very much want to involve you in this. So we enjoy doing this, and we enjoyed answering the community questions, the technical questions, the strategic and the operational questions, and hopefully we answered all of them. However, if we did not answer a question that you asked this time, know that I'm working on this podcast in which we We will discuss these things in more detail. We'll give you more insights on how exactly, what kind of issues are we dealing with, and how are we resolving this with regards to regulations and customer support, etc.
Yeah. It's also it's great.
Yeah.
It's great that you came up with this idea of seasoned podcast, because we are. It's not really the main thing that we do. So we don't want to commit to make to put out a podcast every week or so. It will just be a huge drag on productivity in other areas. But with the seasoned ones, we really get a lot of time to discuss different things and discuss them in detail and bring in interesting guests and ask for their opinions on on everything basically, and generate a lot of interesting content.
Yeah. So the great thing about doing a podcast is that you can easily just transcribe it into an article and blog content and tweets and Instagram content and social media content. So for whoever asked what we're doing there, that's your answer. We have to make sure that we focus on the right things and do this as well, but do it as efficiently as possible. And the first season of this podcast is going to be focused entirely on Mothership, why we are building this, what is our personal visions of Mothership, and what we find important, what we stand for, how we're solving customer support and proactively working on that. We are going to involve e-residency in this. We already have their green light to do a podcast with them, and have a conversation with them to have them explain, what's e-residency, why Estonia, and what are we doing with that, and why did we decide to be in Estonia and believe this is the right place to build an exchange at this time. It's going to be fun, and I hope you guys will all find this interesting content. So, thank you so much. We're going offline, and see you guys next time. We talk on Telegram.
Yep. Ciao. Bye. Have a great weekend and enjoy life.
Have a great weekend.